Hi, and a huge welcome to the sixth in our Travel Toolkit series, website in a weekend. So it's called that because what I'm hoping to do is by the end of this hour is show you how easy it is when you have the right tools to actually create a website for your travel business, a beautiful professional looking website, literally in a weekend for almost for free. And I'll explain why it's almost in a moment. But let's just start with the big question: why do you even need a website? And the reason I think is because a website makes it real. We all know that we can book a complicated 14-night itinerary touring Thailand from the comfort of our sofa on a Saturday night on our phone. But here's the thing: our potential clients don't know that. And if they're going to entrust us with thousands of pounds or dollars, what's probably their biggest spend of the year, they need something to look at, something tangible, something that says really clearly, yes, I can trust this person with my holiday, with my money, with my plans. And I just wonder how many times when you've mentioned that you can book travel, have you been asked that crucial question: do you have a website I can look at? And how many of you have wished in that moment that you could say, yes, I'll send you the link or I'll send you the QR code? But actually, unfortunately, don't have a website that you can direct somebody to. Maybe you've been put off creating one because you've got no idea where to start, and you assume correctly in most cases that it's expensive and time consuming to do. And if you're commissioning a totally custom site with a designer, it is. And if you're going to DIY it, you probably need some techie skills. But what if I told you that even with zero techie skills, no experience, no website know how, you could actually have a stunning professional website, one that actually converts clients, ready to launch in a single weekend, and that you could do it for a fraction of the cost that you might expect? That's exactly what I'm about to show you. So hopefully by the end of it, you'll believe me that it's possible for you to have that too. Because here's the truth: when you have a website, you're no longer just a one person band with a side hustle. You're instantly seen as a bona fide business. A website done well is a game changer and a rainmaker for your business. It builds trust. With a polished online presence, potential clients see you as professional and established, which gives you credibility and, in turn, confidence, helping you feel more confident to get out there, to tell more people about your business, which then generates more inquiries, which then generates more bookings, and ultimately more success. It also gives you some level of control, because social media is great and a lot of us do a lot of business through socials, but algorithms can change. And we have a lot of passive traffic that comes to our socials but never gets any further. A website gives those people somewhere to go. That's your space, it's your brand, it's your rules, and you can therefore use it to build your dream business when you're attracting in those dream clients. Most importantly, it's an amazing booking generator. It gives you a platform to showcase what you're selling. It's where people can learn about you, they can browse your services, they can explore your offers. And a good website makes it really easy to take the next step. So, in other words, people getting in touch with you. Um, a website essentially is, along with your brand, the ultimate attraction marketing tool. It's where you can send people, moving them from platforms that you can't control to one that you do. So you can turn passive scrollers into potential customers, and potential customers into lovely, loyal clients who are going to be happy to refer their friends to you because they have somewhere to refer them to. Now, let's be clear: there are websites and then there are websites, and you could absolutely settle for a one pager. That's fine. It will do the basics. It will tell people who you are, what you do, how to get in touch with you. But really, in this day and age, a one page website is, it's kind of a glorified digital business card. If you're serious about selling travel and building your business, you're probably going to want more. A professional site with multiple pages, a clear services section, a great contact form, a place to showcase your offers, and even space for a blog if you want one to kind of develop your brand's personality. Also, they're brilliant for SEO, which means helping the internet find you. I think what puts most people off is the cost ultimately, and the fear of actually managing it going forward. So if you had, people worry that that A, it's going to be really expensive, and B, that once they've got their lovely website, how do they actually manage it? If they want to update an offer, how do they do that? If their contact details changed, are they going to have to wait for a designer to go in and sort that out for them? But what if I told you that you could have a ready done website that all you had to do was make a few tweaks and changes to customize it for you so that you could make it really unique and personal to your brand, and that you would have a video course that showed you exactly how to do it step by step, literally like having me sat next to you, assuming no previous knowledge in anything like this. So you'd walk away with not only a beautiful, high converting website that you're super proud to show off, but also with the skills to actually maintain the content going forwards. Now, you might think that if you had those tools and the course to show you how to do it, that actually creating an amazing website might be doable, right? And I'm here to show you that it is over the next 50 minutes of this session. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to show you how you can get that almost for free. Now, I say almost because you'll still need a couple of things. You'll still need a domain name and you'll still need hosting. And those are unfortunately unavoidable basics of owning any website. And unfortunately, I can't do anything about those. But if you're ready to see just how simple and cost effective DIYing your own stunning website can be, let's dive in, because I would love to show you how achievable this actually is. And just before we dive in, for anyone who's new to the Travel Toolkit series, with each session, there is a page that's created that you can access all of the links to the various things that are mentioned within the session. And at the bottom of the page, you can scroll down and you can actually, there are links to all the previous sessions, so you can watch them on catch up. And obviously, you'll be able to rewatch this one as well via this link. And then I will post the QR code to this at the end as well and include it in the resources. So hopefully that's helpful, and we'll get stuck in now to editing our website template. Okay, so I am really excited to show you this. This is the KCOS template. It's a travel website template designed for independent travel agents. And just to give you a little bit of context for anyone who's currently wondering, how on earth did we get here? I, as well as being an independent travel agent and a rep within the How to Travel Smarter team, I also have a business called traveltemplates.co and the Travel Income Society, which creates templates, courses and resources for other independent travel agents and reps to help them brand and market their travel businesses and team building businesses more easily. For any of you who are also in the rep team in How to Travel Smarter team, you may already be using some of those templates if you're using Caroline's onboarding cards, for example. But this is one of the templates that we have within that offering. And as I said, I'm going to show you at the end exactly how you can go about accessing that for free. But for the moment, I'm just going to give you a tour, and I'm going to then go and show you how easily you can put your stamp on it and very much make it your own. But as you can see here, the bones of it are there. Well, more than the bones of it, the content's there, images are there, everything's set up, all the buttons are there. It really is kind of a plug and play option for your website. So just to give you a quick tour through. So this is the homepage. So it's just a quick introduction to you, how you can help somebody, in other words, your services, and some travel offers to entice people with, plus a link up to your social media here at the bottom. Then we've got a more detailed about page. So this is where you really can showcase who you are, why clients should book with you. So there's lots of information on here. And you can obviously add testimonials in here or whatever you would like to say about your reason for having your travel business. Then we've got services. So again, this is a really great page to be able to showcase what exactly it is that you can do for clients, what it is that makes your travel business special and unique to you, and again, just why somebody should book with you. So we've got things like frequently asked questions on here, and then a link to take them on in their journey to look at your travel offers. So these are your curated offers. Now, even if you are somebody who maybe you don't necessarily update your offers all the time, this is still a really helpful page because you can just you can cherry pick 6 different destinations or different holidays that represent the kind of travel that you would like to book. Because what will happen is, as you attract people to your website, they will see these, they will resonate with that, and then they'll be encouraged to reach out for whatever it is they're specifically after. But this is just one of the areas where you can really use your website for really powerful kind of attraction marketing. Then we've got the edit, which is essentially a blog, just a lovely blog page. And within the blogs, you can really go to town either selling trips or talking about how you're using the business, etc., etc. So lots of opportunity to really elaborate on the different, the different types of travel there. Then you've got a very simple but inviting contact page. Always best to keep these really simple because you don't want people feeling like they have too much that they have to fill in because it puts people off. So we've got a really nice, just very straightforward contact form, and all of your contact forms are managed within your website. So it will start to create a list for you, a contacts like customer list that you can then use to email out subsequently. And it will email you every time someone fills out your contact form so that you know that you've had an inquiry in, and they're also stored within the website itself. So lots and lots of functionality like that exists within these websites. But that's essentially everything that you need. And now I'm going to show you how simple it is to go in and really customize this to very much make it your own, to bring it in line with your brand, put your own stamp on it. So you can change everything. You can leave it as is because, as I said, it is largely done. So you can just change out a few details, or you can really go to town. You can change the images, the content, the fonts, the color palette, absolutely everything. You can add pages, you can add sections. Literally, the world's your oyster with one of these templates. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Okay, so you've got your KCOS template and you're ready to start editing it. Now, what makes this possible for absolutely anybody, regardless of their previous experience, to be able to do in a relatively short period of time is this. This is the KCOS website course, and it will take you absolutely bite-sized, step-by-step through everything that you need to do in order to edit your website template and actually put it live. So all the things that you need to do to actually get it from here as a template to actually being live out there in the wild. And it will literally take you through step by step. Now, the only downside to it is that you have to listen to me talking you through it. But if you can stomach that, then you will literally have a bite-sized step-by-step roadmap to going from A to Z, or from this case, template to launch. So I'm going to, obviously we're not going to work through every single thing here, but I'm just going to go in and do some basic editing to show you how simple it actually is to do. It might seem a bit scary, the thought of it. It really isn't. It's amazing how user-friendly it is, which is one of the reasons that I particularly like this platform to build on, because it does mean that once you've worked your way through this course, you will come out at the end of it with the skills to actually manage your website going forward. So anytime you want to update it, you'll know exactly what to do, And if you've forgotten, you can just quickly refer back to the course. But 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty certain you'll remember how to do, how to, change a photo, or how to change content to do with let's say an offer or something like that, how to write a new blog, etc., etc. So it's something I'm really proud of, because I do think that it enables people to be able to take control over their digital space through this particular website and course. So let's jump into the KCOS editor now, and I will show you exactly how we do those sort of little tweaks and changes to really kind of put our own stamp on the website. Okay, so now we're getting to the exciting bit. So we're going to actually go in, we're going to start playing about and editing the pages. Now, when you do yours, obviously you will presumably already have your brand, you'll have a logo, you'll have your colors, you'll have your fonts. So it's just a case of applying those to your website, or as close to as possible. If you don't have those already, then just know that with the template, you do actually get a travel brand blueprint kit. So it will help, you can get started creating your brand as you go with that. So because it's really important to kind of have nailed that down so that you can easily apply everything through the website. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take the palms and parasols brand that I created for my aesthetic agent membership. So the aesthetic agent is a travel image royalty-free stock image library that I've created. Every couple of weeks, I add a new drop of beautiful images, but they're all based around a theme. So it works really well as an example in this context, because I can just take those images and they come with a brand board as well. So you get your sort of colors on there, the color codes, and suggested fonts and things. So I'm just literally going to lift that for ease, and use one of those boards. So the palms and parasols boards and photos to show you how easy it is to kind of apply a look, a brand feel to the website, and obviously to change out photos and things. If you don't have access to that, or you don't have a sort of a library of images that you want to use, in the course, I do recommend some different places that you can go to get other royalty-free images for your website as well. So don't panic and think, well, I don't have that. You don't need it. It's just, it's nice to have a set of images that just already go together really aesthetically. So that's why I'm going to use that. So I'm just going to go and, well, you can see it here. And I'm just going to go and show you how we go about applying those colors and brand assets into the website. Okay, so when you access your template, it will open up here for you in the editor. And this is where the magic happens. So this is where you can go through and you can do everything that you need to do to get your template edited, branded for you, and live. So very exciting. Now, obviously, unfortunately, we don't have a weekend today for me to go through every single thing step by step. I've only got a few minutes. So what I'm going to do is just take you through editing the homepage so you can see how simple it is. Know that the course will take you through it more slowly, more step by step, with more explanation than I have obviously time to be able to give in this sort of quite short session. But I just want to, I suppose, get across the fact that it is totally doable, and that although it's one template, it's amazing the variation that you can get. So, your website can be completely unique to someone else's, even though you've used the same template. So we're going to work with a sort of a pretend brand that I've put together, which is, as I said, the aesthetic agent, palms and parasols. So this is a collection of images that I've created all along the theme of this sort of lovely kind of sage green, ombre, kind of sort of apricot orange color scheme. And we're going to take that and we're going to apply it to the website. We're going to use some of those photos in there as well. So hopefully it will give you an idea as to how easily, once you've sorted out your brand, you can then apply it quite quickly to your own template. So we are going to click on edit and it will open it up for us, and we start to get things like this, where it says add a block or edit a section. And again, it's all explained in the course. I won't keep mentioning that because but just to say, don't sort of, as I go through it, if I go through quite quickly, it's just because of time, but that it is properly explained when you have access to it yourself. So the first thing that I like to do is change the hero image, which is this main one here, because I find that kind of sets the scene for things. So I'm going to do that first. So I'm going to go to edit section. I'm going to click on background, and then I'm just going to replace the image. I'm going to click on upload file, and I am going to put that one in instead. So that's hopefully going to open up as our lovely homepage image. It's just loading. I don't have the fastest internet where I live, so that might be, it's taking a little while. Let's give it a second to process. There we go. So that looks really, really stunning in there. Now, obviously, the colors we need to change. So the colors need to be on brand with these colors, with the sage, the ochre, the kind of golden colors, the palm colors. So I'm going to go up here to site styles, and we're going to just create a color palette that is going to work with our brand. And up here in the site styles, this is brilliant because what it allows you to do is you can make a change once. So you can change the fonts or you can change the colors, and it will apply it across the whole site. So it's a massively time-saving, clever thing that we can do in here. So, and again, not to go into explaining everything, it is covered, but we're just going to look at the fonts and the colors for the moment. So we're going to start with color. Now, with the colors, you get 5 colors as your sort of global site colors. So these are the ones that then it creates these lovely kind of color palettes here. And you can, when you click on a section, if you want to change sort of the background color, let's say you wanted to change this color here, you can see up here it's telling me it's this one. But if I were to go through and change, if I wanted to change the color of this, I can really easily do that just by changing the color section here, and it will just cycle through and it will just give me some more options. So that's a really easy way of working with colors across the site. And it's one of the reasons why doing your color palette at the beginning is so helpful, because then you can go in and make individual tweaks, because although you get 5 colors, you're not stuck with just those 5 colors. You can literally pick any colors you like, and you can have additional colors. You can just go in and you can, on a very granular level, if I show you in here, you can go in and you can change all the colors really easily for every single element on a page. Even things that aren't on there yet. So, and then when you want to actually change that color, you can just click on the item and it will pull it out for you. So it's told me here that's text. So it's taken me to the text section, so I can go in and I can make those changes if I wanted to change that text from a black color. So it's really nice because it gives you a very easy option where you just put in your 5 colors and you work with those. But actually, if a color isn't quite working in a section, you can go in and adjust it manually to make it perfect. So I really like the way that the colors work. So we're going to go in and we're going to make a lovely color palette here to go with our palms and parasols. So when you do, if you do the travel brand blueprint kit, or you've sorted out your own brand colors, you will no doubt have something called hex codes. And these are these numbers here, and they relate, or RGB codes, but if you've done it in Canva, they'll be called hex codes. And these relate to numbers on this color spectrum here. And all you need to do is just copy and paste from Canva your hex codes, And then you can just click on the little individual color palette up here. You can just change the color here. And I think we're going to take, I'm going to leave the gold. I'm going to go with that lovely burnt orange color, because I need a really neutral white-ish kind of color in there, which will be a basic color. So let me just put that in. I have one that I like to use. Let me just do that really quickly. EA. There we go. Right, so that is my color palette done. So I'm just going to close out the site styles. Let's just go back here. We'll click on it, and then I'm just going to press save, and then that will save my color palette. Now, this is not necessarily exactly how I would want this to be. And when we go through each section, I'm going to show you very quickly how you can go in and then just kind of change those things. But just sort of starting with back to our header here, I'm just going to change this. I want this doesn't stand out very well anymore. So I need to just change the colors so that it does. So I'm just going to cycle through. I might try that one. That looks a bit better. And we've still got that lovely kind of greeny overlay on there. That will give it an orange overlay. I'm not so keen on that one. And that's the dark there, which I think I like the best with the white. So you can see how just simply cycling through these different color options gives you a completely different look. So it makes it really easy. Then we're going to go up here and we're going to sort out our header up here, because actually what we really need in here is our logo. So I'm just going to edit the site header. And anytime you see this little pencil icon, it's an edit button. And I've got the site title in here, but actually I want a logo there. So I'm going to upload my logo. And I've just made this logo up very quickly for all intents and purposes for this. So it's dropped it in at the top there, and it looks lovely. Now you can adjust the height of the logo. You can make it a bit bigger if you want to make it stand out a bit more. Might make it 75. There we go. Or close enough. So we've got a lovely logo at the top here. And then again, I'm just going to press save. Unlike Canva, it doesn't save automatically as you go along. So you do need to make sure you press save as you go, or else you're going to lose all of your lovely changes. Now, the next thing that I'm going to change is our font, our text, because it doesn't really work with the brand. And changing your font will make a big difference to the sort of style and feel of this. So there's a particular font that I quite like, that I think will work really well with this particular brand. So again, I'm going to just go up to my site styles, and I'm going to go to my fonts, and I'm going to change the heading of the font, and it's called Sale. Now you can have a look through and you will see so many. In fact, if I show you, you will see so many options here for fonts. And what's really nice is they show you what they actually look like. And if you make some changes, if you click on them, you'll notice that the fonts change in real time for you. So you can have a look, you can have a play, you can see what you think might work best for your particular style of website or style of brand. So you've got loads of options on there. I mean, it's absolutely heaps and heaps. You can see here it's absolutely loads. So that's nice that you can you have a big wide choice. But I'm actually going to go with Sale because I like the way that the letters kind of tone in with this. So I'm going to go for Sale, and I'm going to just come back out of here. It is also possible to change the height, the size of things, and you can also change the main paragraph font text as well. I'm just going to leave that as it is because I think it works fine. It's nice and clear, and the nice thing about using a website template is you don't have to change everything. You can obviously leave certain things the way that you want them to be. So I'm quite happy with how that looks. I quite like having the copper header, and I feel that stands out really nicely. You can read it, and I'm quite happy having the button in the copper color as well. So we're going to just sort out this section bit here. I'm not so keen on the curvy divider here. So that's the next bit that we are going to tackle. So I'm just going to go up again to edit section, and here I've got a divider. Now I can just take that off and it will just go away, and you will just see it like that. Or I can have a play and put in some other interesting shapes and options. So if I do want a divider, then I can just click on the options here, and then I've got lots of different things I can play with to work out what's best. And you can also play about with, so let's say we do this one, you can also play about with different things like this. Not that I think you'd want it to look quite like that, but you get the idea. So you can have a real play about with what you like. I'm actually going to go with this one because I kind of like how that seems to go really nicely, almost like it's reflecting the chair there. But I'm going to, you can see I've got a little line, a greenish line that comes down here. So I'm just going to remove that. That's called a stroke. And I'm just going to take that out so that it's not there. And I think that looks cleaner. So I'm really happy with how that's looking. And it's looking quite different already to how it was looking before. So I'm just going to press save. And then we will tackle the next section here. And I'm going to show you how to put images in and change up the colors really easily. So let's do that. Okay, so we've sorted out our sort of above the fold section here. We've got a nice call to action, and it really didn't take very long to sort that out. So now we're going to move on to this sort of introducing you section here, which is just like a friendly kind of quick snapshot, couple of sentences. And this button here will take you through to the Why Book With Me, which will be the About section here. So to change this, we are going to, I think I'd like to look at a different color option here. So maybe the lighter color, which I think looks quite nice in there. It gives it a bit more of a break. And then I think what I'll do is I'll put some of the green in through through the images and things here, and maybe change the button to a green color. So what I'm going to do first of all as well, I think is let's do the images first. So to change an image, again, really simple. You just go to the edit button and you're just going to click on replace, and you're going to go to upload a file, and you're going to choose it from your computer. I'm actually going to just go in here to grab the this one here. And I am going to use, I think I might try this one, see if this works under there. Bringing in a bit of that lovely palm green in and sort of pool colour. Let's see how that looks. I'm going to leave the picture of Kate because I don't have one that I want to use of me. That's the main reason. So we'll leave Kate up there, but I'm going to show you how you can maybe change the colour and also how easy it is to move pictures around. So let's say we stick with that for the picture of Kate, but we want to sort of just move this over slightly. It is as simple as that. It's a drag and drop thing. So you can very easily move things about if you just need to adjust them slightly. You can also change the shape of images too. So let's say we go in here. This is our image here that we've put in. But if we click on design, these are almost like little tabs here. We can go into the shape and we can change the shape. So let's say we wanted to do that, or we wanted something different. It's really easy for us to make those changes. You can also change the aspect ratio here as well. So if you wanted something that was particularly wide or particularly tall, you could easily do that. This is obviously a 1:1 aspect ratio. And then just to get rid of the shape altogether, you would just go to either fit, which was the original, or fill, which is the original container size for the box. So I'm actually just going to put it back to the shape, and we can move Kate over here a little bit so that she fits in. There There. Then if you wanted to change, let's say you wanted to change this, you didn't want this to be this color. Again, you can go in, hold on. Sorry. Computer's not playing ball. And you can go in the color section. There we go. Right, so it's telling us that we're on this one, but I actually would like this to be green text. So I'm going to go into the little pencil and I'm going to click on the bit that I want to change, which is the text here. I think it's probably the large text. I don't think it's the extra large text. So I'm just going to click on that one. And then it pulls up my color palette really handily. So I'm going to click on that and there you go. It changes that to the green. And then I just press save and then just click the paintbrush and it comes out. So you can see how easy it is to change that. The same with the buttons as well. So I would like a green button here. So I'm going to go back to my colors. I'm going to edit this section, the section colors for this. I'm going to click on my button. Oops. It's actually taken me to my button. Right, hold on. That's not what I wanted it to do. Oh, no. Oh, it shows my buttons are working. Right. Let me just get back there to that one. So edit my section. Colors. I'm going to go in and change that button color. So I'm going to look for the buttons. So there's the button there. So I can see this is either going to be a primary button because it's that color, or it might be a secondary button. So I just need to maybe change both and see how they look. It's not that one. So let's change that one back. There we go. So it was that one. So you can see how easy it is to make changes. There's no coding involved. It's just quite intuitive, like drag and drop, click here, click there kind of stuff. So already this website is looking very different, I think, to the original website, just with a few tiny, tiny changes. And again, I'm just going to get rid of this wave that was in the original template because that's not the kind of look that we're going for in this one. We're going for a more angular look, hence why I changed this to a more angular image rather than that sort of rounded window type effect. So I'm just going to click on the one that we used last time. And what you can see here, which is quite nice, is it's automatically given me the kind of reverse option in the next section. So it will alternate the sections for me, which is really nice because it means they don't all end up looking the same. And I think it gives it quite a nice, well, quite nice edginess, I suppose. But you can change that. You can flip them around by sort of clicking these buttons and they will do different things. You can, as I said before, you can change the height and how many, you just have a play. It can be quite fun just to see what it comes up with. But I'm just going to go back to what we had before, which I think would be that. And then again, because the last template had the outline, the stroke, I'm just going to remove the stroke. And then that should keep that line really nice and clean now. And I quite love how it's looking with bringing that copper in. But can you see how it's starting to look really nice and a little bit different from before? Okie dokie. So we have sorted out our section introducing ourselves. So now we're moving on to the section that introduces our services. So I really like this copper kind of color, but actually I feel on reflection it might just be a bit too much. And I think it works better as sort of a nice punchy kind of call to action color. So I am actually going to change the color of this. So again, we just edit the section, we go into colors. And I'm just going to have a play and see. I quite like the beige, but I think I might go for something stronger. I'm probably going to Let's see what the green, yeah, I think I'm going to go with the green color, because I think that's going to complement this section below here. So let's just make that all green. There we go. And I think the white text looks really nice and crisp on there. And just to show you as well, if you wanted to change text, it works exactly the same as anything else, like Word, Canva, anything. You would just change this to, you just literally type and change your text like that. And then remember to press save. So this section down below, I also like the fact it's changing the color has made the button go to that nice bronzy color, which I love. So this section here this is a content section. Now these are really clever and hugely time saving because they are sort of pre-formed, which means that they sort themselves out. So if you want to add lots in, so let's say you wanted 6 of these instead of 3, or you wanted just 2, or you wanted 4, or however many you want, it's really easy to do that. And they will adjust so that they sit really nicely on the page. They also adjust for mobile really nicely, so they'll stack beautifully on mobile. And that's another thing to mention about the website template. I've already prepped it to be optimized for mobile. So you don't have to, if you don't make hugely significant changes, in other words, adding lots of pages or lots of sections in, you'll find that it already is set up to work beautifully on mobile. And for anything that you do add that you need to just do the same for, again, it's explained how you do that within the course so that your website will look just as beautiful on mobile as it does on a desktop, which is very, very important because so many people do look at a website on mobile. Right, so this is, as I said, a content section. They're so easy to manage. You just go into edit content and you can change the way it's displayed. You can have it as a banner, slideshow, a carousel, or a simple list. I've done it as a simple list. You can change the alignment of the text. So for example, you can have everything to the left or the right, or various other options as well. Again, I've just centered it. You can change the order, so you can have the text at the top and the media beneath, or vice versa. You can add extra columns. So, and did you see how it just shrank beautifully? So we added an extra column and it just moved everything over. And then I'll show you how you actually add the content in a second. But let's just say we only wanted 2. Again, it will just adjust accordingly. It will still show all 3 because I've got 3 pieces of content, but it will just show 2 across. So that's what that does. That's the columns. The other thing that we can do, the other thing that we can do is change how the media is shown as well. So for example, here, the image crop, at the moment it's a square, but you can see here, you can cycle through lots and lots of different options. Let's say you wanted circles, or you wanted something very tall that could go in there. So all of those options can look really, really nice. And you can also adjust the text size as well. So if you wanted to have more larger text, you could do that. If you wanted to have more space around things, you could do that, or less space. So you really can, it really is plug and play. You can have a really good, just experiment with the different options. Anytime you go wrong, it's like Canva, you can just click the back button and it will change it back for you. Which I love. And to actually change up the content, I'm just going to, let's just make that 3x4. So to actually change the content, you just toggle to the content tab. And let's say you wanted to swap out a picture here. We can just replace that with a photo. So let's say we wanted to do, I don't know, what's this one about? Kids, isn't it? Let's do the rubber rings, family adventures. So you can very, very easily change up your content in here. So let's just let that load. Just thinking. And it's super easy to change your text. Again, you would just simply click and you could just type and it will just change what you see. And that's what I love about this particular interface, this platform, is that everything happens in real time, so you can see everything at how all of the changes that you're making are actually looking in real time. It's one of my favorite things about it. So I'm just going to do just change this one so that everything is matching with our new brand. And you'll also find that it's set up for being SEO optimized as well. So this is what these are here, these image alt texts. It will automatically put these things in for you. So it's a huge time saver and massively helps when it comes to being organically found on Google. And that's something that we go into towards the kind of last stages of the course. I explain kind of how all of that works. So let's just put this one in here. And then that's that section done. Obviously, you could change up the text. But these are just really lovely ways of breaking up text with images, but in a really nice, organized way. And they're really easy to manage kind of going forwards. So little snapshots of what you do. So there we go. I'm not sure ice cream works with the wellness retreats, but it does in my world. Right, so then we'll just save that. And that is that one done. So you can see now it's really starting to take shape in terms of that Palms and Parasols brand. And we just have this last section to do, which currently looks a bit of a mess, but we will sort out in no time at all. Done that section, we're just going to sort out the last section now, the travel offers. So I'm just going to quickly change up the images here, because I think that will make a big difference to the section to begin with, and then we can figure out what colors to go with. I've already uploaded a couple of images in here. So once you've got images that you've uploaded into your library, you can just go to select from library, and you can pop the images that you have chosen in there. Oops, there we go. And you can go to add. The other nice thing that you can do in here as well is that it does enable you to use some of the free images that you can get from certain websites like Unsplash, and you could also try Pexels as well. It does really help to have a collection of images that work together. It really pulls a website together cohesively, which is why one of the reasons that I started creating the aesthetic agent, so that people had access to those sorts of things. But you'll find that you can find some fabulous images for free, royalty free, from other sources, but you just have to spend a bit more time kind of picking around to find a collection that works together. But you see, that actually looks really nice just as it is. It pulls in the green. I like the fact that it's on the kind of the paler background. I think I would just try changing the color up here. I feel like that's a bit too strong. I'd maybe even go with the white just to kind of keep it quite fresh, which I think looks really smart in there, and kind of also pulls in with the cards from the section above as well. And actually, I really like the color, and I like the fact that the button maybe is that neutral color. I could try changing that up so that that section has the orange button, which will pull in nicely with this image. So let me just do that real quick. And let's see, I am just going to look for the button. So it must be this button here, because it's the only button that is that color there. So I'm just going to change that one on there. And I think that looks really nice. I like that. I think I would just brighten that text up a bit, make that white so that it stands out a bit better. There we go. What do you think? I think that looks pretty eye-catching. Okay, and then the last thing to do is just to bring get rid of that wavy divider and make that bring that in keeping with everything else. And so there we go. So we've got that lovely alternate divider going on here. Then we've got our Instagram images down here. Now, I cheat a bit with this. I prefer to put images in And then when you link up your website to your socials, it will appear down the bottom here as a little social button, social links button down here. But I find that if you can actually connect it as a feed, but if you do that, you have to be super mindful about what you're posting on your socials, because it comes through on your website and it can just throw the whole aesthetic off. So I tend not to do that. I tend to do a faux feed, but then the link will link through to the actual socials. So that's just a little cheeky tip there as to what I do to try and avoid messing up the aesthetic. And you can see each of these images is also linked out to an Instagram as well. So you can do that easily. I won't go through and do them all, but you get the idea of how that works. So you can imagine if you had ones going through that were all coordinating beautifully with your images, that your website would look really, really beautiful. And then down the bottom, this is a footer. So again, you can change this in the same way. You can also create links. So you can link these all up to go out to the different places. And this is your sign up as well for your newsletter. So which is brilliant. All of these are ready to go. So somebody can put their information in. You can offer a freebie here as well, a lead magnet, or just have it as a simple sign up. And then that all goes through to your contacts. And so starts building you an amazing email list that you can then email out to every now and again with your latest offers or exciting news, information, etc. So it really is kind of a one-stop shop. I'll give you a little quick tour into that side in just a second, but hopefully if I just come out of the exit here and I open this up, hopefully now you can see the whole thing, and you can see that it's quite, although it is the same template as before, it definitely has a very different feel to it. So I'm really pleased with how that looks, and hopefully you can imagine yourself doing those changes and really kind of putting your own stamp on a simple template, and you'd obviously come out of that knowing exactly how to do those changes going forwards. Done that section, we're just going right. So I hope that that's inspired you to decide to create your own lovely website, your own digital home for your business, and has given you the confidence to know that you absolutely can do it, whether you're someone who's got experience or literally nothing, knows nothing about this sort of stuff. You've got me there by your side. That is a downside as well, I'm afraid. But if you can stomach listening to me talk you through everything that you need to do, believe me, I won't leave anything out. And I've had multiple people go through this process and come out the other side completely unscathed and with an incredible website to boot. So I'd love to be able to help you do the same. Alongside or with the website as well, you're also going to get your what I call the boring pages. So you've got your terms and conditions and privacy policy pages pre-done. You've got a 404 redirect page. So if, for example, there's a broken link or you move a blog post, for example, you change the URL, you can redirect people back to the homepage or your office page so they don't just disappear back to Google. You'll also get, you can also do things like add on scheduling. So if you want to be able to put a scheduler into your website so that your clients can book in a travel consultation with you or your team can book a chat in with you, that is totally doable. You've also got the contacts here. So you get analytics, but also contacts. So when somebody fills out your form or they subscribe, or for example, you can put on sort of little pop-ups again here, add a promotional pop-up. So it all can be done from within the system, but you can put a promotional pop-up up there, pop-up up there with a lead magnet like the mini mag, for example. So in exchange for an email address, they get sent something. And you then have their email. You can then market your offers and your news and things to them going forwards, which is an amazing thing to be able to do. You can run those email campaigns directly from the system. You don't have to then merge it with something else like MailChimp or anything like that. And you can also password protect pages as well. So if you wanted a private area, members area, that sort of thing, you can absolutely do that. So there's a lot there to explore. Obviously, I've just kind of touched on a fraction of it, hopefully enough to give you the confidence to think, yes, I can totally give this a go. And for those of you who've managed to hold out to the end, thank you. And I did promise that I would show you how to go about accessing all of this for free. So I'm going to just jump over to my website and I'm going to show you where you need to go to do that. Right. Right. So thank you so much for sticking around. For those of you who are still with me, then I am delighted to tell you how you can access the template and course for free. Normally, I charge £197 for the template and the course together. But it is actually part of my main membership, which is called the Travel Income Society. And when you join that, you actually get access. It's like the equivalent of your all-inclusive resort. So you get access to everything. So all of the templates, website templates, courses, extra resources. You get access to little check-ins and things with me if you need template tweaks or help with something. And you also get access to the lovely new aesthetic agent, which is the royalty-free travel stock images that we mentioned that we use to do this website. It's just launched. So we have a new drop coming. They come every 2 weeks. So we have a new drop the beginning of next week to look forward to. But all of that is included within the Travel Income Society membership. Now, the cost for this is £37 every 4 weeks. And my gift to you to say thank you for sticking around and watching this evening is a code which is free trial, which is going to give you 100% off your first month payment. Now, you can actually cancel the membership at any time. So you are welcome to enjoy the membership for 4 weeks and then cancel if you would like. No hard feelings, I promise. But obviously, it would be lovely if you decided that the value that you get from the membership, plus all the new things that I have planned coming over the next few weeks and months, make it well worth you sticking around for. Obviously, that would be delightful and wonderful. And you would then, from the second month effectively, or the next 4 weeks, you would be charged the normal £37 for the membership. So it's just an opportunity for you to sort of go in, try it. Obviously, you can get your website template as part of it in those first 4 weeks. And then you can decide whether or not you want to stick around or not. Totally up to you. Anyway, there we go. So that's how you get it. You just need to go to the website, which is traveltemplates.co. You navigate to Travel Income Society membership. You scroll down. You click this button, this sign up button. It will ask you to create a little account. And then from that account, you then will go to a payment page and you just put in the code free trial and it will give you that discount. So thank you so much for listening. And again, I really, really hope that lots of you feel inspired to give creating your website in a weekend or in the next 4 weeks, however long you want to take a go. And please do tag me in it on my socials. I'm at the Travel Income Society because I would love to see what you create. Thanks.